भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। ராம 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 ராம் ராம 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 ராம் ராம 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 ராம் ராம 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 ராம் ராம 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 ராம் ராம 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 ராம் ராம Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram 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 Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram 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 Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram 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 Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram 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 Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jai Guru Raya. Ram Charat Kumar, Yogi Ram Charat Kumar, Yogi Ram Charat Kumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Charat Kumar, Yogi Ram Charat Kumar, Yogi Ram Charat Kumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ram Charat Kumar, Yogi Ram Charat Kumar, Yogi Ram Charat Kumar, Jai Guru Raya. Charat Kumar, Yogi Ram Charat Kumar, Yogi Ram Charat Kumar, Yogi Ram Charat Kumar, Yogi Ram Charat Kumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ram Charat Kumar, Yogi Ram Charat Kumar, Yogi Ram Charat Kumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi ராம 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 भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। सर्वं योगी राम सूरत कुमारार्पणमस्तु। very great fortune that we have all been blessed with this Nama Sankirtan in the evening twilight time meant for worship of the divine can be no small grace, and with deep, deep gratitude we have offered the Nama lotuses at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. We have to keep celebrating this grace so that it grows more and more, ultimately to merge us with the divine. Now, today, we shall take up one particular statement of Bhagavan, which he often repeated. He said, wherever God has placed us, at any moment, is the best place for us, for our spiritual growth at that moment. He could change the next moment, but at that moment, whatever happens is the best that can happen to us for our spiritual growth. He also said, not only the place, whatever happens at any moment is the best that can happen to us at that moment. So it's both the place and the time. Meaning, God is already arranging everybody's life the best way possible. It may not be our choice of the best, and yet it is the best from the point of view of God or Bhagavan, because it's meant for our spiritual growth. The very gift of this body and the life that pertains to it is meant for worship of God, is meant for remembrance of God. And so whatever helps the remembrance of God is only the best. It is a great blessing because it's fulfilling the purpose of life. And what is the purpose of life? God. God remembrance. Now there is a story which I found narrated by none other than Swami Vivekananda himself. There was a king ruling a particular kingdom. The king had a doubt at one point. What was it? What is it? What is the best? To be a sannyasi or a householder? Which is the best way to live? He kept asking all those important people in his darbar. He also put a condition. Whatever answer you give, it should satisfy me. And if it doesn't, you have to prove it. And if you cannot prove it, you will be beheaded. What a condition. So everybody was afraid to answer him. And at the time, a sannyasi came. He said, Maharaj, I can answer you whether be it a sannyasi or a householder, whatever one is, that is the best for him or her. If you are a sannyasi, it is the best for you. If you are a householder, it is the best for you. Each one is the best for the one who lives it. Nothing is less important or more important. But then God, the king, was not satisfied. He said, you got to prove it. How do you say that? He said, yes, I shall prove it, but you have to come with me and live my life. And wherever I go, you have to come with me. It may take some time to prove, but if you obey these conditions, we could still get the proof. Raja agreed happily, and he began to follow the sannyasi. So they traveled quite a bit from kingdom to kingdom, and finally they arrived at a city, at the capital city of another kingdom. As they were moving on in the streets, suddenly they found the instruments playing, what we call Mangalavadhyam, the auspicious instruments playing, followed by a proclamation. What was it? The princess of the kingdom was going to be married, but then before that, there is a function called Swayamvar, meaning the princess has the right to choose whom she likes. There will be a function, a darbar, where all the kings of the other kingdoms, valorous kings, handsome kings, and the great dignitaries would gather, would assemble. And in the assembly of those great people, she would go from person to person and has the right to choose anyone whom she likes, whom she prefers. So this Swayamvar function was being announced, and soon people gathered in their fineries, in their silk fineries, to celebrate the occasion. There was a huge crowd. And then the princess came into the hall. She was being taken from person to person, and she had a garland in her hand. Just then, a very handsome and a Tejasvi sannyasi, a young man, was glowing because of his tapas. He arrived at that place. He did not know what was going on. He just joined the crowd, curious to know why they were blocking the road. And just then the princess reached that place, and as soon as she saw, she threw her mala to him, and it fell on his neck. Immediately, the king came forward saying, "I'm giving the hand of my daughter to you." The sannyasi said, "What nonsense? I'm a sannyasi and I practice austerities. This is no way of life for me. You have to choose someone else." And then he took the garland and threw it away in great anger and walked out. And he began to walk very fast, moved on. The princess, of course, she fell in love with him now even more, and she began to follow him. But then soon, the sannyasi disappeared into the forest nearby. Now, our hero sannyasi with the king, they watched the whole show, and then they began to follow the daughter, the princess, into the forest. She just didn't bother about her father or anybody. She was running to find the sannyasi husband she had chosen, and she was going alone. So our hero sannyasi and the king followed her. Soon it was dusk, and then the night set in, and they could not go any further. Now they caught up with this princess, and all the three decided to stay under a tree to spend the night. But then, there were ferocious animals there, so they climbed up the tree somehow and settled themselves comfortably on the branches to spend the night. It happened that one of the branches had a nest, and there was a bird, a husband bird, a wife bird, and 3 small children birds, whatever you call it. Now, they were actually a family, running their life cosily there on the branch, and suddenly the husband bird found these three sitting on one of the branches. Then the bird told its wife, "You see, we have got guests. And I am very sure from the way they look, they have not had anything at all the whole day. They must be feeling very hungry. And they have chosen the tree where we are living. So they become our guests. We have to feed them somehow. Because it is the dharma of a householder to feed a guest." So they were thinking what to do. It was night time. They could not find any food. So the husband bird flew away to some place where there was fire. And then he took a small branch burning and then brought it there and dropped it from the tree to a spot. Now these three found the fire going, and immediately they came down, put more dry leaves there and grew a fire, a bigger fire there, so that it would be warm. And then the husband bird said to the wife bird, "Look, there is no food that we can offer, so I'm going to jump into the fire. I will be cooked there and I would become their food. It is our dharma." And even before the wife bird opened her mouth, he fell into the fire and died. Now they were horrified, these three people who were watching this. They just didn't know what was happening. And then the wife said to the three small ones, the little ones, "Look, now one bird would not be enough because there are three of them, three guests. Now it is my dharma to follow the husband, so I too would jump into the fire." And before the little one said anything, she jumped into the fire and died. Now the three people were even more horrified. And then the three little ones talked among themselves, decided they too would jump into the fire because now there would be enough food for three people. Now the whole show was horrid, and the three could not take it as food at all. They were wondering what was happening. But then the sannyasi smiled and said, "O king, do you understand now? The birds were living the life of a householder, but it was an ideal householder. A householder's dharma is to sacrifice readily anything that would comfort a guest. They should be ready to do anything to help others. It should be a life of sacrifice, not a life of selfishness, hoarding money and getting things for one's own family. It should live for the happiness of others. This is ideal householder and this is ideal dharma they followed. So it is the best for them." Now take up the sannyasi. He was a genuine tapasvin. And you see, he was glowing with his tapas, the fire of tapas. And so you see, he just did not care for the beautiful princess. He was not tempted in the least. He just threw away the garland. And what was more, he disappeared into the forest. Then the king, when he threw away the garland, the king thought he was offering half the kingdom along with his daughter to the sannyasi. But the sannyasi didn't care. He became only more angry. And the king thought maybe half the kingdom is not enough. He said, "Okay, I will give you the full kingdom." The sannyasi had only contempt for what he offered, and he walked fast into the forest and disappeared. You see, he is an ideal sannyasi. He is fire. The sannyasis wear ochre cloth. What does it mean? They are fire. Why? It is vairagya, dispassion for worldly things. And tapas is glowing fire. So the ochre cloth is symbolic of that. The fire of sacrifice. Sacrifice what? Renunciation. Renunciation of all that is worldly. And clinging to the divine alone. You see, the sannyasi is also a perfect, a model sannyasi. And it's the best for him. Now you tell me, who is better? For a householder, if he is ready to sacrifice his own comfort for the sake of the guest, for the sake of the others, then it is ideal for them. And a sannyasi who did not care for the beauty of a girl or for the kingdom offered by the king, for him the forest was enough. Now it is the best for him. So how can you decide that a householder's life is better than the sannyasi's, or the sannyasis is better than the household? Both the lives are based upon sacrifice. Tyaga. In a sannyasi's life, it's renunciation of everything else except God, which would pave the way for the final sacrifice of the ego. It's a renunciation of the ego. So what do? They renounce everything related to the ego, everything the ego would want. And they live the life of vairagya. A householder has his own dharma, swadharma. He has to support the society, he has to support his own family, and he should earn money in a dharmic way. So there are dharmic rules to be followed by a householder based upon love and sacrifice. So it all depends upon how you live your life, based upon dharma. So each one is the best for themselves in the circumstances. Now this is what our Bhagavan declared. Wherever you are placed, however you are placed in life, at any moment, is the best that can happen to you at that moment, because it's the best for your spiritual growth. For a householder following dharma, it is the best for his spiritual growth. For a sannyasi, his renunciation is the best for his spiritual growth. So who can decide what is best for them? The life that is chosen for us by the divine will is the best for us. It would be dependent upon the vasanas that we hold inside, which we have collected from the experiences of the past janmas. Accordingly, God allots a life of a householder or the life of a sannyasi. So let us stay put wherever we are, because we have been placed there by the divine for our own spiritual growth. This is what Bhagavan said. Bhagavan said, why the spiritual growth? Because God is the goal of life. Remembering God is the goal of life. To remember God, you have to remember the name. So remembering the name is remembering God. Remembering God is living in God. Bhagavan said, the body is given to you. Such sophisticated, beautifully structured body. We know that we cannot create one part of the body synthetically. It happens so naturally in life. So God has created this sophisticated, beautiful structure called body, and a life is given to it to run. Bhagavan said, Remembering God is life, forgetting God is death. When you forget God, you may still be breathing. Your body may be breathing, but you are carrying your own dead body. This is what Bhagavan said. Remembering God is dharma, forgetting God is adharma. Remembering God is life, forgetting God is death. So when we forget God, we may still be breathing, we may still be living bodily, but we can be sure that we are carrying a dead body. We are carrying it by ourselves, our own body. Why is it dead body? Because there is no remembrance of God in it. A very powerful lesson. Bhagavan was dimming it into our head all the time. So let us bring it to our mind again and again and benefit from it. We shall now offer our today's prayer at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. Bhagavan, we beg you, like we have always been begging, for that's all we can do. And we do it 1,000,000 times for your immediate divine intervention to bring forth a dharmic normalcy into this world in all aspects of life. Where there is a lot of violence now and growing enmity between people and countries. Why? There is even a war that's already on with all its atrocities. And then there is the attack of violent diseases and the attack of nature, violence of nature, the furies of nature in the form of flash flood, forest fire, earthquake and whatnot. You, the cosmic controller, can alone bring the whole thing under control and establish where there is disharmony, harmony, where there is chaos, order, and peace, and friendship and brotherhood. Only you can control the diseases and the violence of nature. We beg you, Bhagavan, to uproot all the negativities of the human mind that are responsible for today's world as it is. We also beg you to reach out to all the people, varied groups of people who have been in great suffering for some reason or the other. They may belong to a different country, speak different language, follow a different religion, and yet they are in great distress. We beg you to reach out to them and do the needful, give them help and protection. We also beg you to help and protect all those unselfish people who have been slogging hard for the sake of the others. From what? From unhealthy criticisms and aspersion. We beg you again to promote, give a boost to the economy of the country and help grow in all other fields of activity to their heights so that they become Vishwaguru, a superpower, and Vishwaguru, the world teacher, guiding the whole world in the path of Dharma. And Bhagavan, we pray to you again and again in all earnestness and intensity and sincerity for ceaseless chanting of your powerful name and unbroken remembrance of your teachings and leelas, so that we imbibe the best out of them and become sattvic instruments in your hands, and that we run our everyday life as an offering to you. We don't want to be caught by the snares of Maya. Please bless us. And we want that state of freedom that you are enjoying, that Brahmananda, the state of bliss and peace, the ultimate bliss, ultimate peace. But then we need to be purified. We take refuge in your powerful Nama and its ceaseless chanting and joyful service without any unhealthy competition or jealousy in the service of the Guru or God. That is, in surrender, the spirit of serenity. And above all, the practice of acceptance of whatever life brings to us, be it a joy or sorrow, knowing that it is a definite blessing coming from you for our spiritual growth, for our greater good, for our closer kinship with you. And as we get more and more purified, we would be able to see your living, vibrant presence everywhere and everything. Bhagavan, please bless us, enable us to see your sankalpa, your will behind all the happenings of the world, all the happenings of our own lives. And more importantly, the presence of your hidden grace, even in the most disastrous sufferings of life. Instead of blaming others for our own failures and resenting your grace, resenting God, we try to move away from you, but you, out of love and generosity, will hold us again at your feet and convert all our difficulties into great blessings. This is your promise, and this is what you have been doing. Please bless us to be grateful to you all the time, even for the adversities of life. And Bhagavan, we seek your blessings for all the species of the cosmos, in whatever state of misery they are, to be lifted to a higher plane. And finally, we seek the solution. We have been seeking only solutions for endless problems of life, are now seeking the solution of the ego, which is responsible for the samsaric life in the first place, the I and mine, so that we would be free from the vicious cycle of births and deaths forever, and be blessed with that eternal living and eternal servitude to you, that supreme power that runs the whole cosmos, this world drama from eternity to eternity. Jai Ram.